world was young, the mountains green, no stain yet on the moon was seen.
Then with a crash came a great ringing shout. Ra, boom, ra.
3 rings for the elven kings under the sky, 7 for the dwarf lords in their halls of stone, 9 for mortal men doomed to die, 1 for the dark lord on his dark throne in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie. 1 ring to rule them all, 1 ring to find them, 1 ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them in the land of Mordor where the shadows lie.
Are you there?
I'm here. Are you here?
Yeah.
Talking about Tolkien, Ben.
Let's talk about. Usually you scream that in my ear as soon as I hit record.
What didn't you? I didn't see you hit record. Usually you go, all right, I'm recording. Then you hit record, and I'm like, all right, I'm on alert. I was busy figuring out numbers. You see, Ben, your job's having you work a lot more, and that's just can't have that, Ben. So I need to just direct everyone to our Patreon. If we just raise $21,610 per month, more than what we have right now, then Ben can afford to make this his full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could do that.
So tell your friends.
What did you say, 21,000?
21,610.
Like if roughly like 250 of you could join at the $10 tier. That'd be great.
Let's get 2,161 people at that $10 tier, and we can finally make this your full-time job, Ben. And my full-time job. So tell your friends, and then tell their friends. And then if everyone tells one person, eventually we've got the entire planet on here.
I sincerely doubt that there are that many authors who could bring in that kind of money, let alone book critics that could bring in that kind of money. And we are leeches on an already drained economy, my friend. Speaking of weirdness, I'm taking this old Norse course, and it's funny because he's like, if any of you have taken Old English or if you have another Scandinavian language, this will be pretty easy for you. But even just knowing English, it's pretty easy. And what I've found is we've gone on is pretty similar to Elvish. Unfortunately, that's where I'm recognizing a lot of the stuff. It's just the noun transformations and the verbs, the verb conjugation and stuff. It's all the inflection that Tolkien adds on Elvish. I'm starting to see it now, and he gives us these assignments we do, and we can email them to him, and he'll check them. And a lot of them have been like translate some bit of English text into like Old Norse or vice versa. And he's like, a lot of you are giving me Lord of the Rings. Apparently, like we're everybody's using that as their example text. And know your audience, I guess. It's that's how we all get here. But I'm stalling because I don't want it to be over, Nate. It's the last chapter of The Two Towers.
The final chapter of The Two Towers, and also the second book of The Two Towers.
Yep. Chapter 10 of book 4, The Choices of Master Samwise.
Yeah. Last time, Sam found the strength and the courage to beat up an emaciated elderly hobbit and force him to run away into the darkness. Now,
to be fair,
Sam,
he's a BJJ black belt, so.
And now, Sam has taken that knowledge and he's going to apply it to a giant spider that is countless eons old.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody listens to the Nuzzle House D&D episodes that I DM for them, but one of our characters, a gnome sorcerer by the name of Graucus, played by Glenn Nuzzles himself, has like a signature move he's developed. He's He's like a Bitcoin business tech bro kind of guy, and he naturally has studied Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And so whenever he's faced with a combatant, he assumes the position like on his back with his legs up and attempts to grapple them and shocking grasp.
So you're not only cheating on this podcast with another podcast, but you're cheating on the D&D of this podcast with another D&D podcast.
I am. I like playing D&D. You guys have lives. I don't. So I just play more D&D when you're not around. So no, but I was thinking of him as we keep making these Smeagol jokes. So if anybody else actually listens to that, think of him as well. But yeah, so Frodo, Shelob finally caught up to him, and it's not going so well.
No, he's bound in webbing.
And near him laid his elven blade.
Yeah.
Where it had fallen.
And Sam is like, dibs? I'm going to go avenge my master, who is almost assuredly dead. I think at this point he's like, I'm going to save him. And that quickly turns to, I'm avenging him.
It gets pretty dark, actually. I have a note because in the movie, as we've been contrasting everything with the movie, he says something like, "Let him go, you filth." And
you damn dirty spider.
He goes in, but he's very like calm when he goes in, very like cold and calculating.
No, here he says something in Elvish, and he charges her ass with the file out.
Here he seized his master's sword in his left hand and had the vial in his right hand. And he charged. No onslaught more fierce was ever seen in the savage world of beasts, where some desperate small creature armed with little teeth alone will spring upon a tower of horn and hide that stands above its fallen mate.
Yeah, I saw that. That was actually in my notes. I just said, "It's fallen mate?" ?
It's fallen mate. Now, I know the British tend to use mate to mean friend, but do they use that to mean animal friends?
This is like...
When they refer to an animal's mate,
are
they referring to its friend?
This is like how Alexander the Great was a very straight man, okay? Mm-hmm. His friend died, and he was in anguish and in pain. Same with Achilles. Both very straight, very powerful men.
Very masculine men, yeah.
Yeah, whose male friend and only friend died, and they were in anguish. And I think Alexander the Great killed the doctor and, I don't know, probably destroyed an entire civilization in rage, knowing him. It's kind of his thing.
Yep. It's, yeah. So I'm just wondering if anybody knows, I can't rightly think of this aspect of British English. I can't think of too many examples of British friends using slang terms to talk about animal friends. But it certainly seems like he's saying that Sam was filled with the rage of one who just watched his,
mate. Yeah.
Breeding partner die.
Wow. That's not true because Sam marries a lady, so...
Yeah, and nobody who has ever been in a homosexual relationship has ever done that.
No.
It's not possible.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus wouldn't allow it.
Exactly. See? And this is a world that's been set by certain rules. I guess Jesus hadn't come yet to Middle Earth.
No, not to Middle Earth, no. No, I guess where I'm going
later
with this,
Sam goes to the Undying Lands to be with Frodo again.
Yeah, his children are still alive.
Yeah, he's like, hey.
But he goes to be with Frodo.
Okay, bye. I'm going to go hang out with Frodo, my friend, and only my friend. Mom can raise you now.
Kind of the same deal with Gimli as well. So, look, I'm not trying to dwell on this forever. I'm not trying to make a joke of it, but one of the things I was thinking going into this book for this reread was, yeah, I know they hold hands, and yeah, I know they like kiss each other on the forehead and stuff, and I think people make too much of that. I think it's a little bit of a bad faith criticism that there's obviously some kind of gay relationship here. But the more I read it, the more I'm like, no, I think this is actually
one of them was into the other, you know?
I think this is actually pretty valid stuff, you know. There's something there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's ever acted upon, but
no, because
this is more than friendship.
Sam just has to.
This is more
when he's with his wife.
But yeah, we'll move on.
All right. Well, something totally not phallic is when Sam's fighting Shelob. He gets underneath her, and she slams down upon him, but his sword is raised, thrusting upward, and so she actually wounds herself by slamming her girth into his.
Yeah.
I think that was before he stabs out one of her eyes. Sam is he sees one of those eyes and he puts that light out.
No, the very first thing he does is like before she even knows he's there, and his sword's glowing blue because orcs are nearby. A glowing sword slices out a bunch of her eyes. Oh no, it slices out one great eye. And then
so like the cluster of eyes, right?
Mm-hmm. Then he winds up underneath her, momentarily out of the reach of her sting in her claws, but her vast belly flops upon him. And yeah, he's I
think we mentioned last time that sword couldn't penetrate her skin normally, but because she is thrusting upon him, she's basically forcing the sword through her carapace.
Yeah, I'll read that portion too, because I'm not just making that up. I wanted to double check. But Shelob was not as dragons are. No softer spot had she, save only her eyes. Knobbed and pitted with corruption was her age-old hide, but ever thickened from within, with layer on layer of evil growth. The blade scored it with a dreadful gash, but those hideous folds could not be pierced by any strength of men, not though elf or dwarf should forge the steel, and the hand of baron or Turin wield it. So there you go. The only way he is able to stab her is because she essentially stabs herself. He has the very best sword he can have. He has a blade of Gondolin from the height of the elves' power on Middle Earth. But no one, not even Baron or Turin, would have had the strength to stab him.
Old Turin. That old so-and-so.
Turin kills a dragon.
Damn. That's pretty metal.
The first dragon, actually.
He couldn't kill a Shelob, so...
There's a lot of things Turin couldn't do.
Could he survive the fight with the dragon, or does the dragon also kill him in the process?
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Would you call it the dragon killing you if, after having killed the dragon, you found out that the dragon had tricked you into sleeping with your own sister, and then when she realized that, she killed herself, and then you kill yourself in total despair? Like, is that still the dragon?
How hot is my sister in this?
Pretty hot.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is this a known fact that we're sister? Like, the dragon is telling the truth? Like, we have proof of that? Because that just sounds like deception. I think they're lying.
He wipes the dragon.
False news. Fake news.
The dragon casts a spell to wipe her memory, and when it dies, she gets her memory back and throws herself. She's pregnant, actually. She throws herself off a cliff. It's one of the darkest things Tolkien ever wrote.
Yeah, what the fuck?
This is in the Silmarillion, though, so look forward to it. When you read the Children of Hurin, don't be expecting much good to happen.
Okay. Yeah. No. This is. But so wait, did he know that that was his sister?
He did not. He had he left home when she was still an infant, so he actually didn't know what she looked like.
Oh, okay. And then he returns and he's like, "Wow, that's pretty hot. Kind of looks like me, but that just makes it
No,
hotter."
she goes looking for him, and that's where she encounters the
Okay.
dragon, and then she wanders like totally amnesiatic through the woods, and he finds her.
Okay. And then he's like, "You look a lot like me. That's pretty awesome." And then they have their romance, and then the dragon dies, and that's when she's like, "Oh, I went looking for you, and you are my brother." Damn. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have to jump off a cliff. You can just make your own amnesiac spell. You can just move to Alabama, where that thing is
Well, they hadn't discovered it yet.
encouraged. Oh, damn!
I don't know if the world was yet made round.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah.
You don't even get like one like a whoopsie or like, well, messed up. Get a do over. But wait, she's gonna just come back at some point because she's an elf, right?
No, they are human.
Oh, damn, son.
Yeah, the two mentioned, Baron and Turin, are the greatest human heroes.
And okay, I can't remember what happened to Baron, but I don't think it turns out well for him. I know one of his hands gets bitten off.
Gets his hand bit off.
Is that's not the end of his story though, is it?
No, I mean, we're going to do the Silmarillion. Do you want to do the whole Silmarillion right now, or
I mean, kind of, but
do you want to save some mystery?
We don't have $21,000 in our Patreon per month, so you do have to work later. So
yeah,
we'll cut that short for now. So anyway, yeah, Sam knew greatest hero of the humans, because he has wounded Shelob when neither Baron nor Turing could. So suck on that, guys. You can say Shelob did most of the work. Some you might say like 99% of the work was her slamming down with force onto this knife, and I'd say still counts. Still counts. Doesn't matter how he got there. Fact is, he got there. Anyway, he does wound her a whole bunch because she slams down on him. He's already stabbed out an eye. He's got the file. He's saying crazy shit in Elfish. He's ready to fight to the death, and she's looking at them, and she's like, you know what? No, I'm good. Like, no, this sucks. This is not worth two little tiny men worth of food. This sucks. I'm out.
So he calls out to Galadriel, and he is again like Frodo. Maybe this is Galadriel's psychic connection. Like, either she's actually telepathically reaching out to them across space, or she maybe somehow implanted some like sleeper words in their brains or something. But
yeah, he calls Elfish. He's ready to fucking.
He calls out to Galadriel, and he says some Elvish words that he did not know. He says, "Gilthoniel Elbereth."
Do they ever see Galadriel again?
They might, I think, actually.
Okay. Do they ever ask like, "Hey, we were fighting that spider. What the fuck was that?"
No.
What was I saying?
I'll tell you what he was saying though.
Okay.
Elbereth Githoniel. Menel Palindiriel. Lanalon si di Ngarthos. Tironin Fanwilos. O Elbereth, star kindler, from heaven gazing afar, to thee I cry here beneath the shadow of death. So we talked about this once before. Elbereth is one of the names of Varda, maker of the stars, and favorite, sort of like the patron goddess of the elves. and he's praying to Elbereth. Frodo previously prayed to Elbereth at Weathertop, and that's invoking a holy name. It's almost casting a spell, and it causes the light of the phial to explode out super bright. So to Shelob, this hobbit she was about to kill just kind of went Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
And she's like, she's a creature of the dark, so light probably not amazing. She didn't fear the light before, but she kind of fears it now.
She's missing an eye, and like the light is just going right into her eye socket. Yeah. Like picture having a migraine headache, and then someone gets like the brightest flashlight possible and just shines it right in your eye. And then they also stab you.
So
that's
she
Shelob right now. She's like, I'm out of here. She crawls into a hole just as Sam attempts to slice one of her legs. Sam is not like, she's trying to run away, and Sam is like, fuck that.
Come back
like,
and fight me.
Yeah, let's go.
It's the Death Wish. They're losing faith in the mission.
He just lost his mate, Ben.
I'm thinking he might have, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So he is, after the adrenaline of going to war with Giant Spider subsides, he is beside himself. Frodo is dead, Ben. He's cold. He's clammy. He's dead. He cuts him out. He doesn't administer CPR. Wasn't invented yet. And he remembers.
It's not his fault. Wasn't invented yet.
He remembers the mirror, Galadriel's mirror, and he realizes this is that moment, and he decides, ultimately, he's still alive. Mission is still on. Maybe it's okay if he doesn't return, but mission's still on. He's going to take the ring. He's going to take it to Mount Doom or die trying. He's also going to take Sting. Mr. Frodo, you'll understand, I hope. You're dead, but I hope you'll understand that Sting is a much better sword than the Barrow White sword. You can have that one. And I think he does hope he comes back from Mount Doom so that he could give Frodo a proper burial, because he does not have time to do that here.
Yeah, and he's kind of insinuating that like he's gonna lie down and die beside him then.
Yeah, well, sorry, man. Show has to go on. Sting is here.
Yeah. So he takes Sting, he takes the Star Vial, leaves the Mithril. I would have taken that.
Yeah, I think it'd be really helpful to have Mithril, and if I come back alive, I could buy the entire Shire and then some with that. Like,
this is my retirement plan, Mr. Frodo. Sorry.
So he then sneaks on out of there.
Crucially, he takes the ring. I don't know if we mentioned that. Yeah,
I said that.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Yeah.
The show goes on. He takes the ring. That was the first thing I said.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. And he's like, holy shit, this is like heavy for a ring. Like the way it's described, this is heavier than you'd think from a ring. Anyway, Frodo's been carrying this around his neck for months now? No wonder he's so buff. Anyway, he exits the lair, and then he starts hearing orcs, Ben. And they'll be like right on him momentarily, so he puts the ring on.
Oh, real quick. One of the things that convinces Sam that Frodo is dead is he had some doubts that maybe he was actually dead until he took the ring from Frodo and Frodo's face didn't change at all. He was really expecting some sign of like
Frodo to wake up and be like, give that back.
Yeah, the feeling of it
mine.
having been ripped away. Like that's how bad Frodo's like addiction had gotten. No change came over the still face, and by that, more than all other tokens, Sam was convinced that Frodo had died and laid aside the quest.
He hears some orcs speaking what I can only assume to be Spanish. But he starts understanding them for some reason. He thinks that maybe the ring has allowed him to understand their language or something. We've got names. One's Gorbag.
Yep.
What's the other guys? Do you care?
We've got Gorbag, Shagrat.
Shagrat. Okay.
Because I think these are technically the named orcs in the movie. I think Shagrat is he goes limp as a bonefish. This fellow
remember.
ain't dead.
It's been 25 years, Ben.
Well, I have it memorized.
I don't think I've actually rewatched. I think I rewatched the second one a bunch because it kept playing on cable, so I kept seeing the Battle of Helm's Deep. But I don't know if I've ever watched the movies again after seeing them in theaters.
I've seen them many times.
Yeah, I can tell. But yeah, there's 2 orc parties led by Shagrat and Gorbag. And they are meeting up and they're talking about how, and this is interesting, they were given word, the Nazgul was worried that some spies had gone up the stairs to Cirith Ungol, and they need to find those spies. I assume the Nazgul doesn't know for certain that it's like the ring bearer, but like, why would the ring bearer be here? But he is.
Well, and if he did, would he tell them?
Yeah, that's true. You would think he would tell some of the other Nazgul. Or
would he?
It really sound. Would he?
I don't know, because it could be a pretty monumental fuck up, right?
For him to just keep marching after.
Yeah.
After finding the ring bearer and then
the ring would be way more important than the war at this point.
So my interpretation, you're probably right. He didn't know for certain it was the ring bearer.
Yeah, I think he had to make a choice.
And Sauron had said, "You got to stop that ring from falling in the hands of like a powerful man in Minas Tirith and Gondor. You got to take that kingdom out." Sauron gave the order. You fucking obey Sauron's order.
Well, that's the thing. He has 2 contradictory orders at that moment. Find the ring, go take out Gondor. And he doesn't know the ring's there, but he knows where Gondor is, so he's got to go in that moment, but he does issue orders to kind of cover his ass.
Bureaucracy. It's why they lose. Because they definitely don't know that this that Frodo is that important. Like the goblins, I mean, the orcs. They just think these are some spies coming in from Gondor. We were told to come up here and get them. And they do find Frodo on the ground. What's that?
I was going to say, it's another example of evil being self-defeating, because they don't trust their men. They don't trust the orcs with the information.
Yeah, the orcs are like, I think it's Shagrat who's lecturing Gorbag like he's an idiot. Like, okay, there's obviously more than one, because this guy, he's down for the count. He didn't cut his own bindings. Shelob would have eaten him. Like, Shelob didn't cut the bindings. So he must have a friend, like a powerful elf, or at the very least a man with an elven weapon. Probably like 6 or 7 feet tall and jacked or something. This is like his busboy or something, you know. That's why he was left behind. And they take Frodo's body. Sam gives chase after them. And this is where you learn that Gorbag and Shagrat, they start talking on their own. Sam's overhearing this through like a wall. There's like a passage that they went into, and Sam's like, I don't know how they got through this. There's a wall here. It's like a block or something. but they don't like having a big boss. Sauron, they're aware that their fate is tied to Sauron, so like Sauron's got to win this war. But like, hey, maybe once he wins this war, maybe we just like slip away, go live somewhere else where we don't have the embodiment of malevolence and domination as our boss. Sound cool to you? It sounds cool to me, because this sucks.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. He's not nice to the orcs. No Dark Lord ever has been.
This isn't the age of orcs. This isn't going to be the age of orcs if we win. No. We're just his cannon fodder that he uses.
No, and it is interesting that they know it.
Also, they keep calling it Lugburs, which is Barad-dûr, and they basically they're saying that we're not going to torture Frodo, the Hobbit, the little man. Not going to torture him. He's got to be whole and intact until and unless he is sent for at Lugburs. We're going to keep him here. He also mentioned that call to war is a detriment, because for a time, no other signals or messages could really get through to the command, which is how Frodo and Sam and Gollum were able to climb the stairs and get into Shelob's lair.
Yeah. I take it you appreciated that.
I did. I appreciate a lot of this, because like I said at the earlier in the Two Towers, so like the entire Fellowship of book, they're constantly on the back foot. Sauron knows pretty much where they are within like a 10-mile, 5-mile radius most of the time, and he's just got forces everywhere. So you escape one force of orcs, and you run into wolves, and then you run into more orcs, and you run into more orcs, and a Nazgul. He's just got so much shit everywhere. But then Saruman kind of fucks everything up for him by grabbing the hobbits and taking them to Isengard, because now he doesn't know where's the ring. Is it in Isengard? Is it in Gondor? I think by now he probably is aware it's not in Isengard, because there's not much left of Isengard, I assume. He knows that by now. So it's got to be going to Gondor.
Yeah, so he's accelerating his plans for Gondor.
And accelerating his plans for Gondor also fucks him over, because the closest they get to the ring, the Nazgul doesn't go for it, and then tries to cover his ass, and his message takes a while to get through. And so, because of his accelerated plans, Sam is actually able to get into Gondor with the ring, or Mordor with the ring. I like that. It's a nice touch.
Yeah. No, I mean, honestly, the whole, I'd say half of this chapter is the conversation between the orcs. You have Sam's showdown with Shelob, and then it's a conversation between the orcs about the state of the war from Mordor's perspective.
Yeah, we're gonna win, but like, win?
Is it really going to be the best thing when Sauron's in control of everything?
Yeah. He also tells Gorbag to put on his thinking cap. So they have those.
Yes. They have thinking caps. Shagrat's like CSI. But I definitely think like the orcs are smarter than they are portrayed in the movies.
Yeah, that's true.
And I go back to Tolkien mentioned a couple of times, and we've talked about it, that he discovered a lot in the process of writing, and I really do wonder what would have happened as he continued to write after Lord of the Rings, because most of the Silmarillion material that Christopher Tolkien draws on to put it together and get it published was written before or very early on in the writing of Lord of the Rings. So I don't know if Tolkien had been able to go back and apply the whole hindsight to the Silmarillion stories. And I did go back and check the Silmarillion. It strongly hints that the orcs are corrupted elves, but it doesn't quite confirm it. It's one of those, it's like, this is what the elves believe the orcs are. But they don't really know, but they do know that Morgoth can't create life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's complicated, but
so clearly the orcs were already here and evil, just thoroughly evil. Kill them all.
It's
Get 'em,
interesting.
boys.
I wonder what he would have done with the orcs if he had more time, because I think he is developing them more than he ever meant to. I think that's one of the things he finds in the writing is that, like, yeah, they would talk to themselves. Like, they would talk to each other and they would have conversations about what's going on. Like, you know, it's not like Sauron's going to give Gondor to the orcs after he conquers it. The age of man is not over. The age of the orc is not nigh. That's not Sauron's plan. Which should be evident to the orcs by the fact that, like, he has giant swaths of human armies and controls many human nations.
Yeah, he has human armies, and his most trusted servants used to be humans.
Yeah.
I didn't see him ever giving orcs rings. Did you?
I don't know. No, yeah, actually he never did, and he could have. He totally could have. He could still make them some. He could do that if he wanted.
Nah, you have enough already. Go die for me.
No. I can't remember if that line, the age of men is over, the age of the orc is nigh. I can't remember if that's actually in the book. But it's one of those lines
said in the movie.
In the movie, it was said by the hideously scarred orc. I forget his name, but he was hideously scarred. He had his arm like permanently locked at his side, and it's right before. I think it's right when they take Osgiliath. Actually,
okay.
They take Osgiliath, and
don't they already have Osgiliath at this point?
I don't know.
Or are they going to get...
In the movie...
They have half of it, right?
Yeah, in the movie, they play with the timelines. So in the movie, Faramir encounters them earlier, I think. And Faramir, ultimately, the reason he's like, the ring will go to Gondor is because right at that moment, he gets news that Osgiliath has been attacked and is requesting reinforcements. And so his band of spies is the reinforcements. And that's how Faramir winds up at Osgiliath.
I mean, we don't want to make this topical, but like Germany did send 15 whole reconnaissance people over to Greenland. And they left early. That's Faramir. He's going over to stop President Sauron from annexing Osgiliath.
May it prove more effective in real life. So yeah, I think that's when he says it, but it doesn't make sense. So I'm doubting it was said in the books. I'm kind of doubting that was even a line that was taken from one place and moved to another place. Because I don't remember that line at all in the books, and it's a weird line that doesn't make sense.
Because it would conflict with these guys who are like, yeah, Sauron's not doing this for his love of orcs. I mean, obviously, Sauron loses, we lose. That's bad for us. But if he wins, maybe we just run away. Maybe in all the commotion and conquering, we just like slip out. Go live in a mountain cave or something, and we just don't deal with this anymore.
No, and I think that's part of the thing is like the more evil a thing is, the easier it is for Sauron to control. And I think the same is true with the ring, because I think being evil is associated with a weakness of will. You don't have the will to be good necessarily. You don't have the will to do it right.
And that's
You
why
always have to
Sauron
take
didn't even
shortcuts.
give them rings. It's like, I don't even need rings to control you.
Yeah, honestly, I
Rub
think
my
so.
feet.
Well, because they
Dick.
don't even want to be there. Like, he is kind of forcing them to be there.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened to
Suck.
Gollum as well. Gollum was drawn into Mordor. He didn't necessarily choose to go. So I think that's part of it. Like when you,
I'm innocent. I was drawn here.
well, he's not innocent. That's the problem. Is when you commit evil, you're like forfeiting by degrees. You're forfeiting your willpower. You're giving yourself over to these evils. But yeah, Sam has the ring. He's wearing the ring.
Yeah,
He's not a weird shadow monster.
And no one, Sauron's eye doesn't turn immediately over and see him and send all the Nazgul after him.
Yep.
It's not how that works.
No. Nor did it even occur to Sam that might be how it worked.
Yeah. So
far from the movie where he's constantly grabbing Frodo and forcing the ring off his finger. And
yeah, I mean, it would be really bad if there were a Nazgul in Shelob's cave right now. They would see him, but these are orcs.
Also, I think this is why Sam is ultimately allowed into Valinor, is because he did take possession of the ring and he did use it. So he is now. He's part of it.
Because the gods knew it was just easier to get out of Sam's way. If he wanted to see Frodo, he was going to charge them with a sword, even if he had no chance of winning. And they were like, you know what? He's cool. Just let him in. Just let him in. So it's during this conversation as well between Gorbag and Shagrat that they reveal Frodo is not dead. He's been poisoned, but Shelob likes to eat her meals alive. She doesn't eat dead things. So she stabbed him with a stinger to paralyze him and then was going to eat him. So we're bringing him back to our guard post. And that's when Sam is like, hell no. He finds a way through the wall. He like pushes it open. And he like pulls out his sword. He yells something like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he charges them, Ben.
No,
and
he doesn't.
Does he? He charges them, and then he's like,
oh yeah, he does.
He learns that the ring maybe like amplified his hearing, because they're a lot further away than he thought when he was charging at him. They were not like on the other side of this wall.
Oh,
they
because
I
was thinking like he doesn't charge them because like nothing happens, right? But no, he does yell and he does run, but nobody hears him, and he just barely gets through the doors. They slam shut, and he then immediately like hurls himself against the doors, and fell senseless to the ground.
Shit.
To be fair, that adrenaline's got to be wearing off by now. I imagine Sam used up most of his chi
His
on
Monster
Shelob.
Energy drink. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the one thing, and you mentioned this in the Discord. My one dislike here is that now I have to read 9 to 10 more chapters going back to the perspective of Aragorn, Gandalf, and Gimli and Legolas before I get the resolution to this. Like right when they're in, like this, it's like the best part. Frodo's been captured. They're in Mordor. Sam's gotta somehow rescue Frodo, and get him and Frodo to Mount Doom to destroy the ring. But first, we're going back to tie up the story that we ended off on 10 chapters ago when Gandalf saw that Nazgul fly towards Isengard and he was like, run! Run! God damn it, run!
Yeah. It is interesting. Because I would say there's with I'm trying to think, because so what Tolkien's imagining here when he's writing these books is he's thinking about trying, like, I think the way he wants you to imagine it is these are actual old texts like the sagas or the myths that were found and translated by him. And I think he's more concerned with maintaining that. No, I don't think he's actually trying to trick anybody, but he wants to maintain that illusion.
He was trying to trick us into saying Bilbo was the reason that the first edition was
He was, yeah.
BS.
But he's really concerned with the believability of the secondary world. So he wants these.
I can respect that.
He wants these to feel like books that were written by these people, and obviously the book that was written by Frodo isn't going to contain the parts he wasn't there for. Somebody else had to fill those in. And so the books, there's a whole lot in the appendix about how the story gets passed down to us in the version we're reading now. And I don't think Tolkien it wouldn't have occurred to him to cut the chapters together, because that would have felt artificial. That would have felt like not an old text. Like this is Frodo's testament. This is Aragorn's testament. This is like this is Merry and Pippin add the chapters where it was just them. Like Frodo has to go around and like compile notes and interview people and get their stories before he can write these books. So that's what's in Tolkien's mind. As a modern reader, I think one of the things that kind of gets dropped that Tolkien never really got out there, especially because he couldn't get the Silmarillion published in his lifetime, is that nobody knows he's doing that. I think the probably 90% of the people I talk to about Lord of the Rings don't know it's supposed to be our planet. Like they don't know that this is supposed to have happened on our Earth. They think it is a fantasy world, like a different dimension or something.
And then the 8th age was the Great Flood, 40 days, 40 nights.
Yeah.
God said to Noah, there's going to be a floody. No? Okay.
No. But yeah, I don't think it would have occurred to him to write it for the narrative like that. But at the same time, it is kind of his mistake that nobody knows what he's going for there, because you don't find out really what he's going for there until you get to the appendix. And I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and say most people probably don't read the appendix.
No.
So the appendix was kind of a compromise. The appendix was a compromise in exchange, like they wouldn't print the Silmarillion, but he's like, people are going to need to know a lot of stuff for this to make any sense. And he's like, I guess I'll have to shove it all in at the end. They're like, yeah, you could do that. Nobody's going to read it. That's fine. Yeah, do that. Only people who are very seriously curious would bother to read it. And yeah, I think for most people,
I have you for who's Turin? You'll tell me.
Yep. I think most people get to the point where they've finished their third 500-page novel by the same guy with dense, antiquated language and detailed descriptions of plants and rocks and rivers, and they're ready to move on to like a Stephen King or something. They're not thinking about, I could use some more of that. I really do want to know what why the Old English is in there. I clocked that they were speaking Old English, and I'm going to want to know why you chose to put that in there. I thought we were translating from some far older language, and he explains why he uses Old English for Rohan, because he was trying to find like an analog from Aragorn's perspective. He's very, very obsessed.
You can't stump him.
He's
already 4 different questions ahead of you.
And that's the problem, because most people don't get to the point where they're asking those questions. So he's like playing 5D chess, and everybody's already walked away from the board. But I like it, and I will defend it, even though I think if Tolkien were alive and writing today, he probably would have interspersed the chapters and then put a note in the appendix that he did that and that they were actually separate books. But for readability, he organized it this way. Yeah. Of course, if he were publishing it today, then they would have published each book as a separate book.
7-book series, Hobbit, and then 2 for each of the books. And then when it comes to the movies, it's an 8-movie series, because that final book has to be 2 movies.
If Tolkien had the brand recognition that he has today, they'd have printed anything he wanted. I mean, for God's sake, they're still printing his like Oxford poems and stuff.
Yeah. I want the Silmarillion. Done. All right. I want the Silmarillion 2. Done.
Yeah. No, they'd be like, yeah, when can you have it on my desk? George R.R. Martin, we're begging him for anything.
You want the Silmarillion?
I love Tolkien.
How about I give you a contract for 3 books instead of 1? Can you give me more after the Silmarillion?
What can we do in the young adult department?
Can there be a love triangle?
Does he ever do a love triangle?
I don't think he does a love anything.
There's a lot of love stories in the Silmarillion.
Yeah, but that's different.
There's a lot of dudes who think they're in a love triangle in the Silmarillion, but they are not. And their rejection ultimately causes them to do something bad.
Just like in real life.
Well, guys, I think that's it for the 2 towers. We're kind of maybe halfway done with talking about Tolkien in general. I don't know how I feel about that. I wonder where we go. Do we have anything after the Silmarillion?
I don't know.
Do people want anything after the Silmarillion?
Yes.
There is more I could talk about, but I don't know if you want me to. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll see if people want us to dive into any of the history of Middle-earth stuff. That gets dense. But yeah, if you have thoughts on what to do, we're going to be burning through this pretty quick. Maybe 1 more year of talking about Tolkien, 2 more years, maybe.
I think a year.
Yeah,
because it's like 19 chapters, even with some breaks. There's like 49 weeks left or something in the year. 50 weeks.
Well, we have the Silmarillion still.
Yeah, I guess that makes it. So 2 more years.
Yeah,
we'll run a Silmarillion probably. I'd say by next summer. We're done.
Yeah. So if anybody wants anything else, think about it. Find us, drop a comment. It's pretty much just the Discord.
Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, if we get just another 2,700 people at the $10 tier, then this will be Ben's full-time job.
So we've got some links in the description. I haven't done this in a while, but I think I might start shouting some of this stuff out because it has changed since we have talked about it. But best place to talk to us is the Discord. We also have wordsaboutbookspod@gmail.com. And of course the Patreon. those links are in the description. Check them out. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really checking any of the microblogging platforms or Instagram. I think they're kind of over now. So that's where you can find us. All right.
Later.
The road goes ever on and on, down from the door where it began. Now far ahead the road is gone, and I must follow it if I can, pursuing it with eager feet until it joins some larger way, where many paths and errands meet. And whither then, I cannot say.